The noisy boy band that is UKIP fielded some 146 councillors for re-election today. They ended the day with just one. So are they suffering second album syndrome? Is there anything left for them to do now, or should they quietly disband, pack up and go home? David Grossman has been having a look at them.
Is UKIP a political force that has run its course? Like the abolitionists, the Chartists, the Anti-Corn Law League and the suffragettes. All of them faded away when their principal aims had been secured. Indeed, it's hard to read last night's results in any other way, just months after the party secured its single-minded objective and almost complete wipeout. All the seats it was defending lost, a single council seat gained.
It was disappointing that I didn't get back in. But, UKIP, unfortunately, people are voting Conservative or Labour because they think Brexit's finished.
So has the music stopped for UKIP? This is Boston in Lincolnshire, the most Brexit-supporting part of the UK. The county started the night with 13 UKIP councillors, but not one dodged the drop. UKIP voters, it seems, part of a stampede to the Conservatives.
From being 18, I always voted Labour, and my family was all Labour. I've never ever voted for Tories, but we started voting for UKIP and now they've sort of done their job, so I like what the Tory party has to say much better than Labour now, so it'll be Tory for me from now on.
I like what Farage used to say, but I think, like I say, their job's done now, so, and I like Theresa May now. I think she's about the only one who's talking much sense and you can believe in what she's saying.
Membership of the European Union has been a disaster for us. We all know this.
UKIP was founded by academic Dr. Alan Sked as a pushback against European federalism. Popular support grew from its campaign to stop Britain joining the euro, still remembered in its badge. But it only really took off after the huge wave of Eastern European immigration hit the UK after 2004. UKIP's big electoral breakthrough came in 2009. They came second in that year's European elections, and their estimated vote share in the council elections held on the same day was 9%. Fast forward to 2013, and UKIP turned in its best domestic performance with 23% of the vote. They slipped a bit the following year, but came first in the European Parliament elections. In the general election of 2015, they got 13% and 3.8 million votes. But yesterday, post the Brexit referendum, their projected vote share has plummeted to just 5%.
I think it's over for UKIP. Job done. We were instrumental in making sure we got the referendum. We played a part in making sure we won the referendum. Now what we need to do is make sure that May has a mega mandate on June the 8th to make sure that she gets on with it.
So might the party that Nigel Farage helped found now go the same way as the anti-slavery movement commemorated in this Westminster memorial?
If, in 2 years' time, we haven't got back our territorial fishing waters, immigration is not under control, we're still paying billions of pounds every year to the European Club, then having raised people's expectations to this level and having not delivered, you could see a UKIP stronger than it's ever been.
UKIP's current leader, Paul Nuttall, has declined all requests for interviews today, but in a statement said the party had been the victim of its own success. It's hard to believe that in 2 decades UKIP went from this to altering the course of the nation's history. Few would argue that we would have had the EU referendum without it, and yet there is no gratitude in politics, and if UKIP want an encore, it will have to continually renew its relevance.
David Grossman there. Well, Gerard Batten is the UKIP MEP for London and the Brexit spokesman. Joins me now. Very nice of you to come in. We did hear from Theresa May today and Corbyn and Farron and Sturgeon and I think from the Greens and played. We didn't see Paul Nuttall at all. Where is he?
I don't know. I've exchanged messages with him today, but I don't know exactly where he is in the country.
The rumour was he was hiding in his house.
I don't think so, no.
He's done that before, though, hasn't he? He goes into hiding when he doesn't want to face people.
No, he's had a very busy time, and I think he's entitled to a bit of a rest after this, which is why I'm on here talking to you tonight.
He's the leader of your party, and he can't be connecting very well with voters if you've only managed to get one.
I'm the
person
Brexit
elected.
spokesman, and I think what's going to be really relevant in this, as was being discussed there, is, you know, we, as Paul said, a victim of our own success.
Yeah.
This is, you know, politics is a funny old business. We have the Conservative Party with this surge of votes purely on the back of 24, 25 years of hard work by UKIP and the fact that we got the referendum, the fact that we won the referendum, and this is probably the most undeserved political victory in British political history. We have Mrs May, who was a Remainer, Conservative government that can campaign to remain in. They've now got the task of taking us out, and where UKIP is going to be relevant is because very soon it's going to become apparent that Mrs May is not going to deliver a Brexit that the people thought they voted for.
What Nigel Farage said is, if in 2 years' time, it's quite hard, isn't it, to write a manifesto called the If in 2 Years' Time Party. I mean, clearly people like the track she's on because she's had an extraordinary electoral day today, so they're not coming back to you for the If in 2 years' time.
I think it's not. I don't think it's going to take 2 years. I think it's going to be much quicker than that, because if you read the government's white paper on what they plan to do, what they plan to do is to actually take us out of the EU in name, but in substance we'll still be members.
But we're looking at an election that's in just over a month. Now, how many candidates are you going to field? You've lost one of your key donors. You don't seem to have the voter base
Hasn't
left.
been a key donor for a very long time. And
Have
he
you
never
got the
was,
money then to
he
field,
never was.
what,
We always
500
come up with the money. Don't forget, we don't have big business, we don't have the unions, but we've always come up with the money to fight elections.
So how many candidates will you be
I don't
fielding
know,
then?
because I don't know how many they're going to be, because I'm not at the centre of the planning for that. We fielded about 600 last time. We'll put as many in as we possibly can. Yes, we're suffering from this problem that people think that Theresa May is going to deliver Brexit. We're talking with this with our own voters,
but you could
our
just
own
say,
activists.
our job's done. You know what? An amazing electoral success. Job's done. Pack up. Go home.
Our job is to get Britain out of the European Union. What's happened since last June the 23rd? Absolutely nothing, except they triggered Article 50, which is the wrong way to go about it anyway. Nothing's happened. Nothing's going to happen for another 2 years. And at the end of that, not a single law repealed, not a single law amended, the entire body of EU law incorporated into UK law.
So if that is the gist now of your job, is it right to go on fairly odd minority issues like the banning of the burqa? Is that going to be helpful to UKIP now?
I think that, personally, I think that was a press conference that was planned a very long time ago. Unfortunately, it then looked like we were leading the campaign on it, which we're not. It was just an issue, and if it had been up to me, we would have pulled that. But that's
so you don't want to run as an anti-Islam party?
We're not running as an anti-Islam party. There are elements of that. It's about cultural integration that we're running on, and actually defending people's rights under our laws and our customs.
Right.
That's what that's about, and that is something that is a part of a bigger package. And if we made a mistake, it was making it appear we were leading on it, which we're not.
But even, I mean, a month ago you were writing, weren't you, that we should stop calling it Islam, we should return to what the West used to call it, Mohammedanism. It's a death cult born and steeped in 1,400 years of violence and bloodshed, perfectly rational fear of Islam.
Yeah, and what part of those factual statements would people argue with?
Well, I guess the voters are arguing with it because they heard you say that, and you've only got one re-elected councillor tonight.
I don't think that was. I don't think they didn't vote for our councillors in this election because
you don't think that's a turn-off at all?
Of speeches I've made in the European Parliament. I think the reason that we lost is because so many people actually do think that our job's done and think that Theresa May is going to deliver. Our job isn't done, and Theresa May isn't going to deliver.
So why isn't Paul Nuttall out here then making that message clear? I know you said he's having arrest, or he's in his house, or he's locked up or something.
No,
but
I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you said he probably needs arrest.
I said he needed arrest. I didn't say locked up in his house. You said that.
But we are in the middle of a general
election. He's run a very difficult
campaign.
Right. He's had a very disappointing day. He's probably with his feet up having a drink, watching me doing my bit on here.
The hard one's yet to come. We've got
all the more
a
reason for
general
him to have
election.
arrest on Friday night then.
Right. So you don't have a problem with that?
No, I don't. Paul works very hard. I see him work very hard all the time, and I'm happy to come and do this tonight and talk about where we're going on Brexit.
It's not really whether we see him, it's whether the public sees him, isn't it? It's whether he feels out and about, and what, from today's result, you'd suggest there has been a failure to connect somewhere along the lines with the voter, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't say it's a failure to connect. You've seen people on there tonight saying that they think, UKIP's job's done. And in a way, that's because we were so successful in doing what we did, in getting the referendum and winning the referendum, and so many people who actually think that Theresa May is going to deliver this Brexit, and she is not. Because if you look at what they plan to do, at the end of 3 years after the referendum, hardly anything at all will have changed. Nothing will have changed, and we're seeing all these ridiculous stories about paying them £100 billion euros, or pounds is it, I'm not sure, which I think was entirely cooked up between Mr Juncker and Mrs May anyway.
Who the voters trust, do you, though? That's the bottom
Well,
line.
I'm not sure in the current climate that they trust many people.
Right.
The one thing that they can trust UKIP is to do what it says, because that's exactly what we've done for 25 years.
Gerard Batten, nice to have you in here. Thank you.